the ANC's Dada Morero was voted in for the second time since 2022 as the mayor of the city of Johannesburg. This was made possible through a coalition arrangement between the ANC and ActionSA in the city of Johannesburg. Let's speak to ActionSA's Gauteng leader, Funzi Ngobeni. Funzi, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate it. It was a foregone conclusion that it would be Dada Morero that would be the mayoral candidate of the ANC. Is this a decision that ActionSA, as the ANC's newly formed coalition partner in the city of Johannesburg, is happy with?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And thank you very much for inviting us. We do welcome this election, and we definitely, as you indicated, we voted with the ANC for this mayor yesterday. Something that we had already communicated that we will be happy if ANC gave us a candidate that is credible, someone that will be able to hold his own executive accountable, that will be able to ensure that he works with all other political parties to ensure that we bring stability into the city of Johannesburg. So we wish him well. We will be there on the legislature positions. As you know, that the position of the speaker will be occupied by ActionSA as soon as the next council meeting is scheduled, and we will be using those legislature position to contribute constructively in the betterment of the lives of people of Johannesburg.
Yep. How far does this take the negotiations between ActionSA and the ANC in the city of Ekurhuleni, which was a package negotiation, I understand?
Yeah, look, the Ekurhuleni is still under discussion. The African National Congress has asked us to give them time to to process some of the internal matters that they have before we can be able to conclude anything in Ekurhuleni. So we have agreed to give them that time, and we hope that very soon they'll come back so that we can be able to conclude on the issue of Ekurhuleni.
Yeah. So now that the mayor has been sworn in, will ActionSA participate in the formation of the mayoral committee, which no doubt Dada Morero would have to put together quite quickly?
Yeah, he actually announced his executive committee yesterday, and we are not part of the executive committee. In fact, the speaker, the former speaker, Councillor Margaret Arnolds, was appointed as the MMC of Finance, among others that the mayor will have announced yesterday. We also wish them well in their respective positions. But as I indicated, I mean, our role will be on the legislature. We will occupy the position of the speaker, and will occupy some of the roles within the legislature that will allow us to do a proper oversight on the executive. But it will also give us an opportunity, having been part of this arrangement, to contribute into ideas, into programs that we think that will be able to enhance service delivery in the city. So among some of the things that we will have agreed with the ANC on, it's a few motions that we will be submitting, or at least putting on the table, that are aimed at really assisting with service delivery. You look at things like the infrastructure protection unit. You know that the infrastructure of the city continuously gets damaged by criminals, and we are unable to arrest it. Traffic lights are down. You find that there's still cables from City Power and damage Joburg water infrastructure and so forth. So we are of the view that for us to win this battle, we will need all law enforcement agencies, but the city itself needs to put together a unit that can work with South African Police Services, the intelligence unit of the South African Police Service, JMPD, and many others, to arrest this decay that is happening in the city of Johannesburg.
Part of that would, for instance, putting together infrastructure protection unit would require resources. Does that mean there would be an immediate reconfiguration of the 89 billion rand budget of the city of Johannesburg to, one, accommodate some of the proposals that the ANC and ActionSA, as you say, will be voting for on together? And what other legislative and bylaw amendments will be brought in the City Council?
Yeah, look, the only time that the city can be able to adjust their budget is in midterm. That will be around January, February, and we hope that by that time we'll made some inputs into the city's plans. That will be able to be accommodated around that time. Obviously, the city cannot adjust the entire budget. They can only adjust about 10% of the budget, so it's very minimal. But we'll work with the mayor and his team on some of this. So I think some of the matters are really operational. They don't need really a budget to be to be moved from there and there. I mean, if you look at the issue of cleaning up the city, and I think the mayor would have spoken about it as well. If you look at the issue of bylaw enforcement, there's a program of really giving permits to informal traders, that needs to be implemented, so that we can be able to have order in the inner city. We can be able to ensure that people that are trading in the city are legitimized, they are legal, they've got papers, and then we start arresting, even the debt that is happening around there, so that we can be able to have a clean city, and that we all will love to come and visit from time to time. So those are some of the ideas that we are bringing forward. We think that, the revenue collection of the city needs to improve. I think the last time I checked, it was sitting at around 89% collection. I think that can improve, and we want to contribute some ideas as to how to do that. Firstly, we need to target people that can afford to pay but are not paying. We need to target businesses that are connecting legally into the grid, and in that way, we don't have to charge law-abiding citizens 200 rand surcharge that has been imposed by this administration. So we can be able to get all the money from collection, from people that are using our our electricity and our water, and we can be able to take that money and direct it to our service delivery.
Yeah, Funzi Ngobeni, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. That's the leader of ActionSA in Gauteng.